A sneaky sister makes a jaw-dropping entrance, walking down the aisle before the bride. You won't believe what's coming. It's time for Dear Snarky. You all know Sherry Kuehl. She is back here with Snarky in the Suburbs. Now, Sherry, our executive producer, told me this may be her favorite letter ever. And as tradition, I have not read it yet.
It's crazy pants.
It's little crazy pants here. And why do the crazies always come out for weddings? Because I know this has to do with a wedding, right?
Because it's just a cornucopia of emotions. I mean,
a cornucopia.
It is.
Of emotions.
I don't think there's anything as emotional as a wedding.
When I retire and open my wedding planning business, that's what it's going to be called. Cornucopia of emotions.
I like it.
All right, let's do it.
Here's a letter. It's super long. Okay, ready? Dear Snarky, it's official. My sister is insane because she wore a wedding dress to my wedding. Let me back up a bit. She wore a wedding dress she had purchased 2 years ago and never got to wear because her fiance called off the wedding.
Wonder why.
My crazy, sneaky sister, who is my maid of honor, changed out of her bridesmaid's dress and into a wedding dress minutes before my wedding started. After my mom had been seated and when my dad and I were in a back corner of the church waiting for our turn to walk down the aisle, so we couldn't see her. The other bridesmaids saw my sister and were horrified, and my best friend tried to stop her from walking down the aisle, but was afraid of causing a scene. Whoa. So imagine my shock when my dad and I come from the back of the church and start walking down the aisle, and I see my sister at the front of the church in a wedding dress. I almost lost it. Thankfully, my now husband whispered in my ear to not let my sister ruin this wonderful day, so I kept it together and focused on the positive that I was married. Now, I hate my sister and want nothing to do with her, and her lame excuse that wearing a wedding dress to my wedding was because she didn't want the dress to go to waste. My mom says family is forever, and I need to get over it. Don't you think I have a right to not just get over this? Signed, Angry Bride. P.S. My mom did make my sister change out of her wedding dress for all the photos.
Wow.
That's a lot.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There's an awful lot to unpack.
Let's go back, though, to the fact that A, you're married now, congratulations, and B, it sounds like you have a great husband, because if you were able to come to the front of the aisle with that situation, he was able to put you at ease so the ceremony could go on, and now you're happily married, A+ to husband number one there.
Definitely props.
But oh my goodness, I can only imagine what is going through her mind as you open the church's doors.
I can imagine it would be murder.
And you see at the front of the end of the altar is, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's your sister.
Yes. Why?
And maid of honor, she's right next to you. So, you know, it's bad. And the letter was really long. We had to cut it a bunch.
Yeah. So
there
I'm
were some
curious.
Curse words.
Yeah.
Well, I would
your
have cursed
response
too.
here. I got to find out.
Okay, so here's my response. Dear Angry, no, this isn't something you just get over. You have every right to be beyond angry. One of the reasons your sister did this, besides being a huge narcissistic, jealous loser, is because your mom and I imagine other family members have made excuses for her behavior over the years with all that family means love BS. Instead of actually imposing some consequences and therapy, lots of therapy. What she did was an act of family terrorism. She tried to ruin your wedding, and you would be a fool, and I think it would be mentally unhealthy for you to just sweep it all under the rug for the sake of family harmony. Because what your sister did was unforgivable. Just because you are related to someone does not give them permission to disrespect you or to be hateful to you. Family may be forever, but that doesn't mean you have to stand up for their shameful behavior. I suggest taking a long break from your family until you're in a much better headspace. And when you're ready to re-engage with them, I would do so with some basic rules of human decency in place.
I think you said all that needs to be said there.
Just because your family, that's not carte blanche to treat other family members horribly.
I can't believe that would have happened, but already from
I'm
this...
just getting steam talking about it.
So I'm just glad that you're here because, number one, I'm glad you presented that letter because I'm not sure if I could have made it through it. Number two, I'm glad that we talked about familial terrorism.
Yes.
That's something new for me, and cornucopia of emotions. I'm just ready to go
Yes, and
now.
as the holiday hoopla starts and you're engaging with lots of family members, Remember, your family has to respect you. Just because you're related doesn't mean you can be disrespected.
Sherry needs to cool down a little bit, so we're going to take a break. There's Snarky in the Suburbs, bringing you that 21st century advice with an attitude. You can read the books, follow the blog, and message Sherry on Facebook. We have a link to everything Snarky on the old website.